Cameras are excellent tools for documenting culture and have long been used to supplement written ethnographic data. Photography and video provide observable visual records of people, artifacts, events, and daily life. These mediums have been used by anthropologists in several ways to illuminate both emic and etic, or insider and outsider perspectives. Since the 1920s and the ethnographic film Nanook of the North, anthropologists have used cameras to document the lives or artifacts of those they study. In recent decades, putting cameras in the hands of study participants has been a useful strategy for learning about other people's lives from their own perspectives. When it comes to ethnography, visual representations and records are no longer understood to be objective. Rather, the person controlling the camera always chooses what to capture. In addition to the use of pictures and video in portraying society and culture, visual media can be used for the purpose of scientific observation. For example, visual data can be used as a tracking device to observe what happens in time or space. If you are studying student work habits, you might set up a stationary camera in the library or the student union to observe, map, or measure student behaviors. Special ethnographic considerations must be taken when using photography or video in any anthropological study. It is the responsibility of the anthropologist to obtain informed consent and ensure the participant fully knows how the visual data will be used, whether confidentially or exhibited to the public. So, recording ethnographic data has become much easier with the invention of smartphones. This is particularly true when it comes to visual data. My phone has both a camera and a camcorder function, so I can take both pictures and video. So this has become extremely useful for most projects, whereas I used to have to go out and rent equipment. Now I can just use my phone. So in addition to just general field work where you might find this handy, I can even use my smartphone for recording interviews, things that are longer lasting, entire events, if I go see somebody speak. There are many uses to this that are particularly important to ethnography and recording data and data collection. So going back to our example of student success, I can pull out my cell phone right now, and if I wanted to record the amount of people walking around the San Jose State University campus at 3:23 p.m., I can pull out my phone, use the camera or the video function, and get an idea for what it feels like to be here, what it looks like, how many people I might see at this time of day. So these are extremely useful. Even your basic camera these days will still have a camera function even if it doesn't have video. So even if it's not a smartphone, your regular cell phone will probably still be pretty helpful when it comes to collecting ethnographic data. Battery life, big issue with these, but other than that, they're an excellent device. There are two easy ways to take your pictures and video and upload them onto your computer or the internet. The first is to use a handy cord that usually comes with your computer. It's a USB cord. You plug one end into your phone and the other end into your computer. From there, your pictures and video will pop up, and you can usually choose what you want to download off of the phone. This is the best technique really if you're using lots and lots of photos or big video files and you want to pull a lot off at one time and get them onto your computer or onto the internet. This is definitely the quickest method. However, there is another technique you can use that I like to go with when I'm using just a couple of files. If I go into my library on my phone with my images and my videos, and if I hold down on one, it'll give me an option to share. So I can actually share my photos and my videos even through Gmail, through YouTube. I can download applications, load them directly to Flickr, to Twitter, Facebook, etc., so on and so forth. So usually you can actually just use your phone to directly load them onto the web, or you can email them to yourself to directly load them onto your computer. So while smartphones are very handy and accessible, sometimes you need something a little bit more reliable. For example, the Flip Video. This is a digital recording device that takes many hours of video. It's HD quality. The battery usually lasts at least 2 hours once it's fully charged. So this is another excellent tool that you can use just for taking video. It's dedicated just to that purpose. And oftentimes, depending on what you're doing, if you're videotaping interviews or if you know you're going to be videotaping for many hours, again, this is a much more reliable tool to use, but also just as easy as your smartphone.
In order to upload video from your flip camera, what you first do is on the left-hand side, there's a little lever. Pull that lever down and out pops your USB port. Then you're going to take it to your computer and plug it into the USB port on the side of your computer. Plug it in. You'll hear 2 beeps, and that means it's ready to upload to your computer. Click on the Flip Share software and your videos start uploading. Once they're finished uploading, then you're ready to go ahead and use your videos.
So once you've uploaded your photos and your video, you have to decide what you're going to do with them. If you're using your data simply for analysis, or if you've provided confidentiality to your participants through your informed consent, you probably want to save those data files onto a USB stick and then keep that in a locked, secure area, such as a filing cabinet. But if you're working on something more like a visual ethnography, if you're doing a mixed media project where you do have consent from participants, if you're using public data, you probably want to use something like iMovie to create a multimedia project. So in iMovie, you can upload video and edit it directly in the program. You can import photos, create slides, and add those in among your video clips. You can also include audio files, create overdub recordings with the microphone feature, and edit those in the program using multiple tracks at a time. While iMovie is an Apple program, Microsoft Movie Maker is a comparable PC program.
Today there are many excellent ways of storing your photos and videos online. For storing files online, Flickr is great for photos, YouTube for videos, and Dropbox is a free online storage for all of your files.
In this brief introduction to the use of photography and video in ethnography, we hope you see how useful these mediums are, and that you now have the basic practical and technical knowledge needed to create your own project.